Imagine you've just moved to the biggest city in the world. There are billions of people living there. Hundreds of thousands in your apartment building. In your neighborhood, there are 1 million businesses. Places to shop, places to meet people, places to have fun. Some of the people on the streets are your friends, but most of them are strangers. And some of them, a small number, are the city's criminals looking for people to take advantage of. That big city is the internet. And a lot of what you learned about staying safe in the real world can help you stay safe online too. In this video, we're going to take a few minutes to show you the basics of staying safe on the virtual streets. It'll be short and full of stick figure action, and all of the outside material I'll mention is linked at security.stanford.edu. On the internet, criminals want the same things they want in the physical world, something valuable of yours. There are a few things that make computer crimes different from real-world crimes. One is that they're not face-to-face, so the criminals don't see their victims. Another is that digital information is trivial to copy, and it's easy to make something fake that appears legitimate in an email or a web page. But the biggest difference is that thanks to the internet, digital crimes can be automated on a global scale. A lot of people don't think much about securing their machine because they figure, why would someone want to attack my computer? But the bad guys aren't just attacking your computer. They're attacking every computer, and everyone is a target. You may not realize the value of your computer. Not what the computer itself costs, or the value of the data inside it, but the value of what it can do just by being connected to the internet. There's an entire underground economy of computer crime. And one of the main commodities there is controlling your computer to send spam, attack websites, or search for more computers to take over. Your computer is worth about 50 cents a day to a successful attacker. It's not much, but the attacks are automated and there are billions of potential targets. If someone can devise an attack that works on just 1/100% of those computers, it would be worth nearly $50,000 for every day they could keep it running. That's what makes the attack worth a criminal's time. It's not just a hobby, it's a living. Stanford's network gets attacked 1 million times every day, with probes looking for vulnerable machines to take over. The software that allows criminals to control your computer goes by names such as virus, rootkit, or malware. If they find a way to get it running on your computer, it's pretty much game over. So it's best to stop it from getting there in the first place. Whether you have Microsoft Windows, Linux, a Mac, or a smartphone, every computing device that connects to the internet has its weaknesses. There are a number of defense strategies you can use, such as firewalls, automatic software updates, and antivirus software. And it's good to use multiple defenses, because there is no secret recipe for staying 100% safe. Stanford's Network Firewall reduces your computer's exposure to the network and makes it harder for attackers to contact or even find out that it exists. Automatic software updates through Stanford's Big Fix service reduce the number of vulnerabilities on your computer. And the antivirus software provided by Stanford can stop known malware from working, even if it does somehow make it to your computer. You can get all of these services when you first register your computer on Stanford's network, and they are always available from the security website. Just as criminals will attack weaknesses in computers, they'll attack weaknesses in people too. A lot of malware gets onto computers by fooling users into installing it. These programs are called Trojan horses, and once you bring them in through your gates, they run amok in your computer. So be careful about installing software from untrustworthy sources, like from an ad on the web, an unsolicited email, or a CD or memory stick that you found. One particularly common Trojan comes disguised as antivirus software, popping up a window that says, "You're about to get a virus unless you install this software." But in reality, the bogus antivirus software is a Trojan horse in disguise, and it will infect your computer. So don't take chances. If you have computer support people, let them take care of administering your machine. If you're bringing your own computer to campus, use Stanford's self-registration system to get antivirus, Big Fix, and firewall protection installed before you put it on the internet. Besides making money by taking control of your computer, criminals can also use the internet to con you out of your money. Here are 4 common examples. You get an email saying you've won an overseas lottery, and you just need to send someone a processing fee to collect the winnings. If it looks too good to be true, it probably is. You get an email that seems to be from a relative, saying they were mugged while traveling abroad, and you need to wire them some money so they can get home. Don't believe everything you read. In both cases, there's only one result if you buy into it. Your money is gone. You may also get an email from someone claiming they are wealthy, but in a dangerous part of the world, and they want your help to get millions of dollars safely to the US. All they need is your bank account information, so they can transfer the money there, and they will graciously award you 10% of their money. Or you could receive an email from your bank saying there's a security problem with your online banking account, and you need to email them your password to confirm your identity. In these last two cases, nobody asks for your money, but in the end, your money is stolen because you gave a stranger the keys to your bank account. The internet is like a big town where there's a sucker born every minute. Don't be one of them. A bank fraud scenario points out that one kind of information is more valuable to a criminal than any other, and that is your credentials, or what some call your identity. Passwords and other authentication credentials are the only way computers know that you are who you say you are, so it is vitally important to keep your passwords secret. The first rule of passwords is, do not share them. You should never give your password out to anyone, not your friends or family members or coworkers. If you do share it with them, you're not just trusting them, but trusting that they won't use it on an infected computer or over a public network, and you'll be at risk for whatever they do with it. You also shouldn't share passwords between different systems. Even big companies have security breaches. If someone breaks into your video gaming account, you don't want them to be able to use that password to change your financial information or drop your classes. The second rule of passwords is protect them like you would any other valuable item. If a stranger walked up to you and said, "I'm the new superintendent in your building and I need your key so I can fix your plumbing," would you give it to him? Of course not. If you get an email or a phone call asking for your password, it's a fraud. No reputable business would contact you randomly to ask for your password or other sensitive information. More information on protecting your credentials is available at the security website. A few more quick tips about data safety. Put passwords on your computers and a passcode on your smartphone. It's a small inconvenience, but it's the small things that can save you a lot of grief later on. Keep your devices physically secure. Every year, many laptops and smartphones are stolen from the Stanford campus. They're particularly attractive targets for thieves because they have a high street value and they take only seconds to grab. Keep them in a locked drawer or behind a locked door when you're not using them. Don't put private information in public places. Facebook pages and other social websites may feel like they're just for your friends and family, but it's all very public, and once information is out there, it's practically impossible to erase from the internet. Beware of surveys that ask for personal information about you, because they're not always what they claim to be. And remember that an email is a lot like a postcard. It's easy to forge and easy for anyone to read during delivery. Email appears to be a lot more private than it really is. So don't put sensitive information in an email, because you never know who might see it. Also, note that even emails that appear to be from someone you know might not be genuine. Now that we've covered how to stay safe on the streets of the internet, let's talk about how you can be a good citizen in that online community. Stanford has official policies related to computing, and one that may affect you day to day is the Computer and Network Usage Policy in Chapter 6 of the Administrative Guide. You should be sure to read and understand the entire policy, but some of the highlights are: don't use anyone else's credentials, and don't give yours to anyone else. Don't access systems or data you're not supposed to, and don't give access to others who shouldn't have it. Don't do anything illegal using Stanford's computing equipment or services. Don't damage Stanford's computing equipment or services, or make them unavailable to other legitimate users. And don't harass people using Stanford's computing equipment or services. If there's a golden rule of the policy, it's that Stanford's network and computer systems are only intended to support your role at the university, whether you're a student, staff member, or faculty. Any use not related to that role, such as for personal gain or political purposes, is likely against the rules. One of the most common misuses of Stanford's network is breaching copyright law. Most computer users at Stanford who encounter copyright law only learn about it when they've been caught breaking it, usually by sharing music, TV, and movies illegally, and often without knowing they were doing so. If you use a peer-to-peer file sharing program like BitTorrent, whenever you start downloading movies, music, or TV shows, you also share those things for others to download, making them available across the internet, which is illegal unless you have the copyright owner's explicit permission. So it's not legal to share a song or a TV show just because you can hear it or see it for free. Peer-to-peer file sharing happens in public, so if you do it, you could easily be seen. The major copyright holders hire bounty hunters specifically to look for people sharing their work illegally. And Stanford has received and processed thousands of copyright complaints from them. And that's not counting lawsuits, which Stanford students have spent over $150,000 of their own money to settle. Aside from lawsuits, there are additional consequences within Stanford for illegal file sharing. At a minimum, repeat offenders will lose their network access. They may also have to go through a human resources process, which could result in corrective action or even termination. Stanford takes this stuff seriously, and so should you. It can sometimes be hard to know what's legal and what's not where copyright is concerned, so every year, the entire Stanford community receives a reminder of the university's guidance on copyright. You can find a link to it on the security website. Inside your computer, there's valuable data. Some of it is valuable to criminals, like credit card numbers, bank account numbers, or unpublished research data. Something as simple as your address book or contact list is worth real money on the black market. On the other hand, there is some data that may not have much resale value, but will cost a lot of money if it gets stolen, because the law requires Stanford to notify people about certain kinds of data breaches. Stanford has a data classification system, outlined on the security website, that specifies how different kinds of data need to be treated. The most sensitive category, high risk, is defined as data that is protected by law, or where the loss of confidentiality, integrity, or availability of the data could have a significant adverse impact on our mission, safety, finances, or reputation. Examples of high-risk data include social security numbers, health information, including health insurance policy ID numbers, credit card numbers, financial account numbers, driver's license numbers, passport and visa numbers, export-controlled information, and donor contact information. If you're handling that kind of data for Stanford, then your computing devices need to be appropriately configured. Go to security.stanford.edu to get more information about protecting your devices. It's the 21st century. We're definitely in the age of the computer. Computers play a large part in the way we relate to each other, but people are still people. So as you interact with the world online, keep in mind that it's a lot like the world outside your door. Some folks you can trust, some you can't, and it's your job to know the difference, act accordingly, and be an example to others. Have fun, be safe, and be responsible. For more information on information security and Stanford's computing policies, go to the security website at security.stanford.edu. For general computing assistance, visit helpsyou.stanford.edu.